Hello all. I am making a blanket for my granddaughter and I tossed the wrong square aside. I need to decide how I'm going to join my squares. So I've been working on videos out of this book, so we're just going to use my granddaughter's blanket as our squares for practicing these joins. There's 4 of them in there, so I have 5 squares that I can join. I have already used one of these joins before. I used this flat slip stitch join to make a granny square sweater. By the time I was done with the sweater, I was not really thrilled with it. But I have not made that video yet. So in this video, I'm going to do the 4 joins, and then I'm going to make a decision on which one I like the best. So I haven't read any of this yet. Get that out of my way. It says stitch joins and seams are made using a needle and are simple yet effective way to attach crochet pieces together. From completely invisible to decorative, there's a stitch join for every project. Here are a few seaming techniques every crocheter should know. Avoid messy seams. When joining pieces together, block first to even out all the edges and allow the stitches to easily align. I did not block these. I don't plan on blocking these, so we'll just see how that works out for me. They have equal numbers of stitches, so it shouldn't be an issue, but who knows? Maybe it will be. Maybe I will find out that this was the key to it all and I messed up. Once aligned, use stitch markers to link corners to prevent pieces from shifting during assembly. She says that. I don't see any stitch markers in her pictures. Whip stitch, a simple yet versatile method of seaming flat pieces together, is durable and fast to work up. It can be hidden inside the work or used as a decorative join on outside edges. Instructions. So my book is flopping around. Use my scissors, maybe, to hold it down. Place pieces together. Make sure corresponding stitches are aligned on both sides. For a hidden seam, the wrong side should be facing out. For a decorative seam, the right sides should be facing out. Oh, see, now maybe I need one more square. I need to do it both ways. So we're going to start with the wrong sides facing out. Using a yarn needle and a separate piece of yarn, join by stitching through crochet stitches, always placing the needle in the same direction, back to front, A to B. See, now she also has a whip stitch border, but I don't need a border because I'm going to sew a border on. I'm going to use this less pokey needle. Let me check and see if I have a better less pokey needle. Nope, those are all pretty pokey. So we're going to use this needle to do this. I don't know that I can do this without cutting off a length first, and I'm wondering how much of a length I would need to cut off. It really doesn't say. So I'm just going to guess at like that much. She also doesn't say how to secure the yarn. Because I don't know which of these seams I'm going to choose, I am not going to secure the yarn. Also doesn't address how to handle the corner, so I'm going to start not in the corner. I start around the edge of the first. I'm also going to not start where there's a knot because I don't want to I don't want to make the process harder than it needs to be. So we just literally go along. So this is my first stitch, and where am I at? I kind of went in the stitch next to it. So that would be this stitch. I do want my corners secured though. Ugh! Okay, I'm going to start in the corner. Just going to carefully go through the stitches there. And I'm just going to leave a little tail. I'm not going to secure it. Like I said, I don't know which of the now 5 that I see choices I want. So there's stitch number 1. Two, and 3. Where am I at here? Should still be in the corner. Came out of that one. Don't know if I'm being consistent here or not. On the sweater that I made, every granny square had a single crochet in the middle, so it was really easy to count, you know, just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can see that I am on track here though. Kind of funny, it's leaning. All my stitches are leaning. I don't know how to make them go straight up and down. Well, I mean, I obviously could be like much more careful in my placement. So this one will obviously be pretty quick. I can already tell you that the one with the crochet hook is not that quick, and here I have a knot because I wasn't paying attention to which way that one was. That's okay. One more. My chain is laying over in an awkward way. Okay, this is option number 1, the whip stitch. With it, that's supposed to be a hidden seam. Now I wonder if that pulls up tight to make a hidden seam. If I had used the same color, it probably would have been a hidden seam. I'll be right back. Okay, I think that this would be an invisible stitch if I had used the same color, but I did not, and I don't love it. So, but that's the whip stitch, and that was supposed to be for hidden, and then you could do it with the right sides facing out to be showing. I'm not even going to do that because I feel like it's going to look exactly the same. So that's the first one. The invisible seam stitch is the next one. Again, it doesn't say, well, I don't know if it says. Let me see. Some refer to it as a mattress stitch. Some call it a ladder stitch. Whatever the name, it is a great stitch to use when you want to join pieces without adding any extra detail. Hold the pieces together with the right sides facing out, like this. making sure corresponding stitches are aligned at both sides. Insert the needle through the top, trying to thread my needle and read at the same time, top center of the stitch on both sides. Pull the needle through the bottom center of the next stitch. Repeat steps 2 through 3 for corresponding stitches on the center, which is picture D. Okay, so top center, they don't really show it starting. It's already started when you arrive here. And I guess I'm going to go that way. I don't know. I feel like it's like this. And it says every 5 to 10 stitches, lay it flat and pull it tight. So I would lay it flat and my book out of the way. Pull it. Well, it almost goes away. I don't know. It's not anchored to anything, so I'm just pulling yarn at this point. But let's keep going. I like the idea of sewing better than using a crochet hook, just for speed. I felt like it didn't really, but it felt like it took forever for me to sew my cardigan squares together. Oh, you can kind of get it to pull together. Yeah, tiny little black line right there. A little bit more to go. Back on camera. The phone call was my child. He's on a cruise in Alaska, and they are so efficient about thinking about things. They'll be in Canada probably tomorrow, and they don't know if they can use their phones there, because we all have one big plan that we share. So I had to stop and give them international calling, because why would we plan ahead for that? Oh, I don't like that. I just totally munched up that stitch right there. Let's see if I can fix that. I don't like the way it, I don't know, it kind of choked the stitch. I don't know if I split it or, oh yeah, I did. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but I split it, and then by splitting it, it was really hard to pull. So there it is, pulled up tight. I'm going to pull it the other way so I don't cut off all this yarn, because again, I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. That one pulls together pretty good. Again, I would say that it would be more invisible if I were using the same color, but I can't really get it to pull all the way together, so I have a little bit of a black line there. Much better than the whip stitch. Let's chop that off. So those are two choices so far. Next, no sew joins. Don't like to sew? Using a hook is another great way to join pieces of crochet together. Some crochet seams leave a clean, almost invisible finish, while others are great for more decorative purposes. Choosing the appropriate join is an important part of your project's construction, assuring the proper shape and appearance. Flat slip stitch join. One basic but versatile crochet join is a slip stitch. However, instead of joining through both loops of the stitches, this method is worked into the inside loops only. This creates a flat join that blends right in if you worked in the same color yarn, but also looks great made with a contrasting yarn. Instructions: place squares on a flat surface side by side with the right sides facing upward. Boink. I'm going to fold this one just to get it a little bit more room. Insert your hook into the back loop of square A. I wonder if that's the left or the right. I don't know if it matters. Last time it was the right. Get my little hook right here. Last time I did this, I did it on the right. So this time I'm going to need a little knot. It doesn't say that, but I need a little knot. Also, last time I did this way made more sense to me. So I'm going to, they don't show you the beginning in the real pictures. They only show you in progress. So if you're actually trying to learn this, go watch a video, I guess. That's what I did the first time. Insert the hook into the front loop of the square in the back, placing the hook from back to front. Yarn over and draw through all the loops on the hook. When crocheting, okay, I'm not going crocheting over a seam right now, so I don't care. I don't really understand what she just said there, so I'm going to do what I did for my sweater, which is go through both loops, get a hold of my working yarn and knot my tail, and pull through everyone. Give my tail a little tug. So this should be my second chain of the corner because I started in the middle of the corner. Again, that is not mentioned on where to start. And this is how I did my sweater. So this is, I believe, from a video and not from this book. I could be doing this entirely wrong. I will say, however, that in a moment you will see that it produces the same looking seam that her book shows. Oops, just dropped everybody. Black yarn is a little bit difficult to work with. I don't have any lights on in my house, so all of the light that you see is coming in through the window. Maybe it's a little too dark for you. I apologize if that's the case. So, almost done. I'm kind of laughing about back to my kid being in Alaska. My husband and I went and cruised up there 2 weeks ago, and then now they're up there cruising with his girlfriend's family. I don't know, maybe we're not good enough to cruise with. I'm just kidding. I know that's not the case. They probably asked in a timely manner, and our cruise was a little bit last minute. Oh, I'm at a knot. I'm at a join right here, and that's always difficult for me to get where I need to be. I don't know where I want to go. Band-Aid is not helping. Oh, I just looked out the window and there is a black cat hanging out by my fountain. It is not my black cat. I have 7 cats, and probably conservatively 5 to 10 not my cats that run around my house. I've talked about this before. I presume that, let's see if I can just cheat this one a little bit. I'll leave that there. I'm going to go through here and pick up a loop, and then I'm going to stick my loop through my needle rather than fighting this whole process. Pull my needle through like that. Oops. Try to save my other hoop. Look. I pulled my other one too tight. That was not my plan. Anyway, there's a lot of cats on my property. I suspect because A, I'm not mean when it comes to feeding them, and B, because there must be 5 or 6 dogs to the north of me, and I know there's 7 dogs to the south of me, and my house is surrounded by a 12-foot wooden fence. So it kind of creates a cat sanctuary over here. Okay. Ta-da! So that would be the flat slip stitch. So anyway, there seems to be a plethora of black cats lately. I own 2, one of which I didn't own until a couple months ago when I had to go get her fixed because she was definitely in heat and kittens are not allowed. I suspect that my homeless neighbors to the north just continue to get cats as their cats run away to my house. It's a bummer. This last stitch is the zigzag join. A zigzag join is a variation of the flat slip stitch. This join creates a beautiful decorative seam that is not too bulky and can lay perfectly flat, although this one definitely lays flat as well. The zigzag pattern is created by a series of slip stitches alternating the direction in which the hook is inserted into the stitch. Place your squares side by side with the right sides facing up. Ta-da! Place your hook into the edge stitch of one of the squares, inserting it from the outside in and making a slip stitch. Place the hook into the corresponding stitch on the other side, inserting the hook from the outside in and making a slip stitch. Note, be sure to keep the working yarn below or under your work. Burp. So we're going to do the same thing we did last time and turn this sideways because for whatever reason it is easier for me to go sideways. See? No knots this time. So I want to go into the middle chain right here, and I'm going to make a slip stitch according to the directions, and then I'm going to go into the middle chain right here and make a slip stitch, and then we're just going to continue that across. Perhaps. Everything's a little hard today. I am not 100%. I've been battling allergies or possibly a virus, I have been told. I don't know. I'm not going to go get tested, so I'm not going to find out. And so I'm kind of low energy, which is oops, 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 oops. I have to not do the other stitch that I just did. Anyway, kind of low energy. I'm not fully recovered. This Band-Aid is not helping me at all. I keep wanting to do both stitches instead of just one. I'm trying to make this blanket entirely out of yarn I already have on hand. So I went up to my yarn storage in my craft room to pick out a color for the border and for joining them, and I was like, what do I have enough of? I don't know. Well, I have the biggest skein of black yarn, I feel like, ever. So I was like, well, you know what? Black would be nice. I think I'll use black. I'm trying to not purchase yarn for this project. I don't know how well that's going to go for me, because I don't know if I have enough, or maybe how much I have will dictate the size of the project. But that'll be a different video. This one is all about seams, and what seams do we like, and what seams do we want to make. So that is one. I need one more in the center and one more in the center. That's not pretty. Try that again. Like I'm splitting it. Okay. Ta-da! Oh, it's very loopy. I kind of like it. Here are our candidates. This one will obviously take significantly more than any of the others. I think it's safe to say that these two are out, and it comes down to these two. I like this one. I don't know how well you can see it. The camera won't focus on it, I'm sure. You can't see that it's a zigzag unless you get your face really up close to it, but it's bolder than this one. So these two are okay from a point of view of joining squares. They would be better if you were using matching yarn. I don't like the way they look in the contrasting yarn because I didn't make them very consistently, and maybe if I did them a lot then they would be more consistent. This one would definitely be invisible if I had done it in the same color. It would have swallowed it up and it would have been gone. So that's a good one. This one I've done already once. It's good to have in your repertoire. I like it. I guess we should look at the back. Again, this one seems sloppy to me. I don't care for it. This one would be invisible if it were the right color. This one is nice and neat, and this one is also nice and neat, but albeit a bit bolder. So there we have it. How to join squares. I believe that's all of the choices there. It does offer a zigzag border. Make a coordinating border by working a slip stitch and one chain into every stitch around the edge. But I'll probably put something a bit more around the edge. I don't know. Time will tell when we get there. Thank you for watching.